It's definitely autobiographical. It's safely in the space of autobiographical.
You have to fix yourself right now.
It just felt like the right time where I was through everything and I was done with all the processing of it and moved on with my life, but not being so far removed from it that I was detached. My job as the writer was to just be as truthful as I could and to be as honest and vulnerable as I could when I was writing it and to be as specific to my own experience. But then I really wanted to hand that over to my actors and let them bring all of themselves to it.
I'm Daniel Dorr, and I am playing Cooper Gans. Cooper's the lead of the film. It's my first lead in a feature film. As soon as I read the script, I knew I had to do it. There is like this inherent pressure that one feels before one actually goes into the work, but as soon as we arrived on our first day, then all of a sudden it just became background noise. All that self-generated pressure wasn't a thing anymore. It was much more important to tell the story.
My name is Hope, and I play Emily, which is Cooper's fiance.
I implored them to pull as much from themselves as possible and to really make it their story. So I consciously casted a real-life couple to play the leads, and thankfully they were on board for that sort of process.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Do I look like a Bond girl?
They'd be lucky to have you.
Or like I'm in a music video? Whenever there's a script about the guy and then you audition for the girlfriend character, she's usually pretty one-dimensional. And in this story, she's three-dimensional. She's going through her own journey. She's not, the villain. Do you know how hard it's been for me to have a fiance who's having doubts, but then he's telling me they're not really doubts, so just be cool, help me.
We were able to go to certain places that are incredibly uncomfortable and incredibly scary to go to.
You just have to trust that deep down, it's not how I really
I'm
feel.
trying.
Dealing with, real relationship stuff.
What do you want to do if you had a clean slate? Money didn't matter. What your parents wanted to do.
No one's ever asked me that before.
Hi, I'm Landry and I play Rachel in Puro.
Fuck heroin!
I was so grateful to be a part of this film and its depiction of OCD and addiction and anxiety. There's so much that I personally took away from this film with my own mental health struggles, and I hope that there are things that you watching can also take away. I haven't seen a film like this ever that depicts these things in such a grounded and real and heartfelt way.
Well, it sounds to me like you're presenting mentally with OCD.
So what does that mean? Pure O, the type of OCD that doesn't manifest itself in any sort of like physical rituals necessarily. It's all mental rituals. It's intrusive thoughts.
Imagine trying to fix your mind, but you can't trust the mind that's fixing it.
It's often misdiagnosed, labeled as something else.
What I love about the representation of this mental illness is that it's not the stereotypical way that it's represented in movies and TV shows. It shows the kind of quiet suffering, the mental illness that can hide in plain sight. It doesn't really show outwardly, and I think that can be one of the most isolating things to go through, is when you can kind of get away with seeming fine, but internally you're going through this like crazy storm. That's something I really connected to.
We all only save ourselves.
Well, that's a lonely philosophy.
I think it's about asking for help. I think it's about community. It's about the notion that if you do feel alone, if you do feel like you're white-knuckling your way through whatever you're going through, there is always a community that is there for you.
As someone who suffers from mental illness myself, I hope that anyone who's struggling with that can see themselves in this story and feel, some kind of catharsis or connection with that journey. Overall, it's just this story about, people taking care of each other, and that's one of my favorite types of stories to tell.
I hope that you enjoy it and felt more seen and loved after watching it.
I really hope that sufferers that are out there in the world can maybe just see something in this character and in this movie that seems like it's hitting close to home, and then they can go to their medical professional that they talk to and they can start that conversation and say like, hey, I saw this movie and it sounded pretty close to home. What do you think as my therapist? I wanted a film about OCD made by somebody with OCD to also show sufferers that you can rise above that and you can still be successful and accomplish your dreams.